All right, number 10, we want to solve the following systems with matrix row operations. If the system has no solution, we're going to say it's inconsistent. All right, so I'm going to do both. I'm going to solve it by hand. I'm going to solve it with a calculator. First, we need to make sure we line up all of our variables. So we have x minus y, and then we don't have a z, so I'm going to do plus 0 as a placeholder, and then equals 1. And then row 2, we have 6x minus, we don't have a y there, so I'm going to do plus 0 for y, and then minus z at the back equals 18. And that's what you have to really look out for. Make sure everything is vertically aligned. And then the last row, we don't have an x, so I'm going to put a 0 here. And then 6y positive, I guess I can put plus 6y, and then plus 3z. And that equals 12. Okay, so my augmented matrix will be 1, negative 1, 0, 1, and then 6, 0, negative 1, 18, and then 0, 6, 3, 12. We want ones down the diagonal, zeros everywhere else to solve this completely. So first, I'm going to show you again with the calculator how we can solve this. Let me just erase everything. I'm going to do second plus 7, 1, 2 to clear everything out. I'm going to go second matrix. I'm going to go over to edit, and then I'm going to enter, and I want 3 rows, 4 columns, so I'm going to do a 3 by 4. I'm going to input these values: 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 6, 0, negative 1, 18, 0, 6, 3, 12. Uh-oh, I'm not in my matrix. Second matrix, edit, 3 by 4. I don't know what happened there. So I got 1, negative 1, 0, and 1. 1. Okay, now we pick up 6, 0, negative 1, and 18, and then 0, 6, 3, and 12. I don't know what I did to get out of there. All right, second quit, once we get that in there, and then I'm going to clear all this out. We're going to go second matrix again, over to math, up to RREF, and then we're going to go second matrix one more time, enter on A, that's the one we just edited, and solve it. So what we see is that X is 3. I'm going to go ahead and write this down so that when I finish, I know if I have it right. X is 3. In the middle column, Y is 2. And the bottom row, Z, is 0. So this is what we should end up with, 3, 2, and 0. Ones down the diagonal, zeros everywhere else. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to begin to reduce this. So this one is already a 0 going down. We can actually, there's a lot of different things we can do. If we want to switch some rows up to make it better so I don't have to go back and add that, that might actually help. I don't know, because that front row will be a 0. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to say row 2 equals row 3. So first I'm going to swap these 2 rows, okay? The reason I'm doing that is because I want that 0 here and I want that number to be here. I need 1s, and so we can just do that if we need. You can swap rows. There's a lot of different operations we can do. And so this is now going to be row 3. So 0, 6, 3, 12. So that row just moved up. This row is moving down. this is 6, 0, negative 1, 18. Okay. So that just saves me a little bit of work here. So I got a 0 here. I want this to be a 0. So the way I do that is I'm going to multiply this by negative 6 and add those. So I'm going to say row 3 is equal to negative 6 times row 1 plus row 3. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 6 and add it here. I'm just going to write the resulting matrix. Okay, trying to squeeze all this in here. So negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. Add it here. Let me write the rows that don't change first. 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, 6, 3, 12, and this bottom row is changing. Negative 6 becomes a negative 6. Add it, we get a 0. Times negative 6 will be positive 6. Plus that, we get 6. Negative 6 times 0 is 0. Plus that, we get a negative 1. A negative 6 times this is negative 6 plus 18 will give me 12. Okay, so from here I have zeros here, so now I want to make this guy be a 1, and it gets kind of complicated here. We're going to have some fractions. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to divide by 6. So I'm going to say row 2 equals row 2 divided by 6. That's going to give me a 1 right there. So doing that operation will give me 1, negative 1, 0, 1. And then here we go. We're going to change that row. 0, 6, negative 1, 12. So I'm going to divide this by 6 to get that middle term to be a 1. So we get 0 divided by 6, 1 divided by 6. That's 1/2 divided by 6. That gives us a 2. So I got a 1, and I need to 0 this guy out. So I can make this 0 either by using row 1 or row 2. Use it, we'll just go down. So I'm going to multiply this row by negative 6 and add it here. So I'm going to say my new row 3, because that's the one I want to change. Row 3 is going to equal to negative 6 times row 2 plus row 3. All right, I'm going to write that here. So the row that is changing is row 3. The other two will stay the same. So 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1/2, and 2. And then this is the row that's changing. So I'm going to multiply by negative 6, add it. That's still 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0. Times negative 6 is negative 6 plus 6 is 0. Times negative 6, so half of negative 6 is negative 3, plus a negative 1 gives me a negative 4. And then times negative 6 is negative 12, plus that 12 right here gives me 0. So I got almost my 1s down my diagonal. So I have to go over to another page. I'm going to rewrite that matrix down. So this matrix, I'm going to carry it over. 1, minus 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1/2, 2, 0, 0, negative 4, 0. Okay, from here, I want this to be a 1. So the way I can do that is divide by negative 4. So I'm going to say row 3 is going to equal to row 3 divided by negative 4. So I'm going to replace this. So my first two rows will stay the same. 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1/2, and 2. And we're going to divide this by -4. So divide by -4, we get 0. We get 0. Divide by -4, we get 1. Divide by -4 is still 0. So I have 1s down my diagonal. This would be in echelon form, and even from here we can solve it. Like, we don't have to continue going, but I want to go all the way reduced row echelon form. So now I want to make this a 0, so I have 1 0 0 all the way across. In order to do that, I'm going to take yeah, I have to do multiple steps. I'm going to say row 1 is going to be equal to row 1 plus row 2, because they're already opposite signs. So if I just add that to that, it'll give me a 0. It'll change that, but I'll be able to fix it later. Or add it off, subtract it off. So I'm going to add those two, and that will give me these two will stay the same: 0 0 1 0, 0 1 1/2. You know what? Maybe I could get rid of that first. Yeah, let's do that. I'm sorry, because that way I won't have to manipulate that anymore. So I'm going to use this guy to get rid of this 1/2. So let's not do this operation. That'll save me a little bit of work looking at that now. So what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to do row 2. I'm going to change that guy. I'm going to do that half of this row. So 1/2, -1/2 actually, row 3 equals or plus row 2. Plus row 2. So I'm going to multiply this by -1/2. So when I add that, it goes to 0, and that'll give me that row complete. So when I do that operation, row 2 is changing, so row 3 is still the same. Row 1 is still the same. This guy's changing. So a half, so 0. When I multiply by half times 0 and add it, we still get 0. Multiply half is 0 times plus 1 is still 1. Multiply by -1/2 is a -1/2, plus that will give me 0. And then 1/2 times 0, 0 plus 2 will still give me 2. All right, so there we go. That's better. And now I can just add these two rows, and that will give me my new row 1. So my new row 1, it will equal to row 1 plus row 2. And that'll save me a little bit of work and make it a whole lot easier. And from here, these bottom two rows are not changing. 0 1 0, and then when I add these two rows together, 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus -1 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 2 plus 1 is 3. So what I'm getting here, x equals 3, y equals 2, z equals 0. And let's go back and double check. On the first page with the calculator, same thing, 3 2 0. So that's how we know we got it right. Now there's a lot of work, so be careful. Again, there's a lot of room for error there, so just be careful. So we do get one solution, and that solution is 3 2 0.